Good morning students and welcome to online teaching class. Today we are going to discuss the new topics which are very important. These are also numerical based and knowledge of these topics were required when you go to class 12th. Means the topics which I am going to discuss now will be helpful for you in class 12th also. In continuation to yesterday's class, today I am going to start with the topic empirical and molecular formulas. Empirical and molecular formulas. This is the name of the topic. Before going to discuss the empirical and the molecular formulas or formulae, let us see what is meant by formula. We have 118 elements and they are represented by symbols. Right? Same way, when the element exists in the form of more than one atom, like diatomic molecule, triatomic, octatomic, tetraatomic, etc. In such cases, we write the formulas for elements. Likewise, when more than one element of different type react with each other, then they give rise to compounds, and those compounds are represented by formulas. So, here formula is used to represent either element which is made up of more than one atom, or it can be used to represent the molecule of the compound. That's about formula. As far as elements are taken, H2 is formula of diatomic molecule of hydrogen. O3 is formula of triatomic molecule of ozone. P4 is formula of tetraatomic molecule of phosphorus. So also S8 is formula of octatomic molecule of sulfur. That is in the case of elements. If we move towards the compounds, CO2 molecular formula of carbon dioxide, C6H12O6 molecular formula of glucose, and so on. So that's about the formula and the example for the elements and the compounds which are represented by these formulas. So in short, we can also say that the formula gives the composition of molecule of the compound. So composition means what does it contain in it. Now we will move to the actual topic, that is empirical and molecular formulas. So first one is empirical formula. What is meant by empirical formula? Empirical formula and molecular formula, these are correlated with each other. In the case of molecules or the compounds. Now what does empirical formula indicate and how does it differ from molecular formula? Let us see. Empirical formula stands for the simple whole number ratio of different atoms of the elements present in the given compound. So, empirical formula indicates or it tells about the simplest ratio atoms of different elements present in the given compound. This is the concept. Once again, simplest ratio of atoms of different elements present in the given compound. This is nothing but the empirical formula. Now, if we move towards molecular formula, let us see what does this formula tell. This is quite opposite to empirical formula. In molecular formula case, we are going to take the atoms, number of different atoms or different elements present in that compound. But if we take the ratio of those number of atoms of different elements from molecular formula, automatically we will move to empirical formula. That means, in the molecular formula, we should have the actual number of, the real number of atoms of different elements present in one molecule of the given compound. So we can write here the actual number of atoms of different elements present in the given molecule of the compound. This is the concept. The actual number of atoms of different elements present in the given molecule of the compound. That is said to be the molecular formula. Here empirical formula can be written in the form of EF, and molecular formula can be written in the form of MF. Abbreviations we can say. EF stands for empirical formula, MF stands for molecular formula. Now we will see one example for this, and also the relationship between empirical formula and molecular formula. Let us see first relation and then we will move to example. So molecular formula, as I told you, MF stands for molecular formula of the given compound, is equal to EF, that is empirical formula, multiplied by N, small n. This is the relationship between molecular formula and empirical formula. So where MF stands for molecular formula and EF stands for empirical formula, and small n stands for an integer. Is that integer. So that's about the relationship between molecular formula, empirical formula, right? And if we know out of these three any two, the third unknown one can be calculated. Like if we know empirical formula and integer m, we can calculate mf, molecular formula. Or if we know molecular formula and integer, then we can calculate empirical formula. So in that way, empirical formula and molecular formulas are correlated to each other. Suppose children, ensure these empirical and molecular formulas. When we know empirical formula mass and molecular formula mass, in that case we can calculate integer, that is n, 1 point. Second point, if we know empirical formula mass and integer, that is small m, then we can calculate molecular formula mass. That means here, like how molecular formula and empirical formula are correlated, same way molecular formula mass and empirical formula mass are correlated. It is like this. So molecular formula mass MFM is equal to empirical formula molecular formula mass MF is equal to EFM multiplied by small m, where MFM stands for molecular formula mass, EFM stands for empirical formula mass, and small n is nothing but integer. It's an integer. So in that way, empirical formula mass and molecular formula masses, molecular formula mass are correlated to each other. Same way here, out of these three, MFM, EFM and small n, if we know any two, the third unknown one can be calculated. This we are going to discuss as and when the numerical is taken. Now let us see simple example for empirical formula and molecular formula. Example, molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. This is MFM. This is MF of glucose. MF, molecular formula of glucose, that is C6H12O6. Here 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms and 6 oxygen atoms. 6, 12, 6. These represent the actual number of atoms of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen respectively. That is why this formula is said to be molecular formula. Now, its empirical formula, let us see. Empirical formula of glucose. Here number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms are 6, 12, 6. If you take the ratio 6 is to 12 is to 6, and this ratio can be further minimize it to 1 is to 2 is to 1. So 1 represents the carbon atom, 2 indicates or represents hydrogen, and 1 represents oxygen. So C1H2O1 or CH2O is empirical formula of glucose. That's how we get empirical formula from the molecular formula. It is very simple, just by minimizing the ratio. Number of atoms of different elements. If not possible, then that molecular formula itself is empirical formula, or empirical formula itself is the molecular formula, vice versa. Now, the integer n is equal to, we know molecular formula divided by empirical formula. So, molecular formula here is C6H12O6, and empirical formula is CH2O, and this cancels the numerator 6 times, or we can take in this way also. Integer n is equal to molecular formula mass divided by empirical formula mass. Here molecular formula mass of glucose is 180 grams. Now empirical formula, carbon 12, hydrogen 2, oxygen 16. Right. So empirical formula mass is 30 grams. So this cancels 6 times. So integer n is equal to 6. That's how we calculate. Right. That's about the relationship between empirical formula and molecular formula, empirical formula mass and the molecular formula mass, and how can the integer n be calculated when we know molecular formula and empirical formula, or molecular formula mass and empirical formula mass. This is a simple numerical. Now we will move to an important numerical wherein the mass percentages of the different elements are given of a particular compound. Name of the compound is not known. Okay, so name of the compound is not known to us, but percentage of the elements are given. From that we have to get the empirical formula and molecular formula. Right? Excellent. Now we will see one sample numerical. Is like this. Determine the molecular formula of an oxide of iron in which, or oxide of iron in which mass percentage of iron and oxygen are 70 and 30 respectively. Given the molecular formula mass of the compound is 160 grams per mole. This is the numerical. When numerical is given like this, for solution, what you need to do is, you need to remember the table to work it out clearly and correctly. In the table, first column should be name of the element, next atomic mass, third column mass percentage, fourth column number of moles, fifth column divide by least, and last column simple whole number ratio. This is what you need to remember. So whichever numerical is there, next thing you are asked to calculate or find out the molecular formula. You need to remember this table. You have to memorize this. Like a Hambach principle, how you memorize the diagram. So here you have two elements, that is iron and oxygen. So first element iron, next is oxygen, and atomic mass of iron is 56 and that of oxygen is 16. And mass percentages are given. Mass percentage of iron is 70, that of oxygen is 30. Now number of moles means what we need to do here is mass by number of moles. Yeah, given mass by molar mass. How we do? That way we are going to calculate here. So number of moles is mass percentage divided by atomic mass. This is the formula. So mass percentage 70 divided by atomic mass of iron 56. Same way in the case of oxygen, mass percentage of oxygen is 30 and atomic mass is 16. And here we get, in the case of first element, that is iron, 1.25, next is 1.87, and next column is divided by least, means out of these two number of moles of iron and oxygen, 1.2 is less than 1.87, so with 1.25 each mole we divide, means 1.25 divided by 1.25, same way, again 1.87 divided by 1.25, one whichever is less, with that each one is divided. In first case we get 1, that means in the case of iron, and in the case of oxygen we get 1.5. Remember children, whenever we are going to find out the molecular formula of the given compound, when it is numerical base, and then we should not have decimal fraction. We should have always the whole number ratio of the number of moles. If the number of moles which we got after dividing with the least number of mole number. If we get in this way 1.15 or 1.129 or 1.121 etc., then we have to convert it into simple whole number ratio. Here 1 and 1.5, when they are converted into simple whole number ratio, it is possible when these two are multiplied by the same number like 2. 1 into 2, 2. 1 into 1.5 into 2, then we get 3. This is called simple whole number ratio. 2:3. Now how to represent the compound limits? We got simple whole number ratio, and this 2 is with respect to iron and 3 is with respect to oxygen. Now, empirical formula. Of oxide of iron. So oxide of iron means we write first Fe and then O, lifted apart from each other. And as I told you, in simple whole number ratio, 2 belongs to iron. So we write that 2 as subscript immediately after iron towards right hand side. And 3 belongs to oxygen. That 3 we will write immediately after oxygen towards right hand side as a subscript. So Fe2O3. This is nothing but ferric oxide. Its name. Ferric oxide. Now let us see molecular formula. Of the compound. That is oxide of iron is equal to, now 2:3 cannot be further decreased. It cannot minimize it further. So Fe2O3, when it is empirical formula, and molecular formula will also be same. Fe2O3, because that ratio 2:3 we cannot minimize, and this is the answer. Right? Here N doesn't have any rule, because molecular formula and empirical formula both are same. I'll give you one more example. Fructose, that is glucose into 2 minus H2O, that is the molecular formula of fructose. Let us see, in that case, is it possible to minimize the ratio of different elements present in it? Molecular formula of fructose. Sucrose. So sucrose formula is glucose formula multiplied by 2 minus H2. That's why you need to remember. Means C6H12. Multiplied by 2 means you will get C12H24 minus H2O means you will get C1224 minus 2 H22 and O12 minus O. O11. This is the formula. So C12 H22 O11. This is molecular formula of sucrose. Now if we take ratio of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, in this case it is 12 is to 22 is to 11. This is the ratio, and this ratio cannot be further decreased. Right? Therefore, molecular formula of sucrose is equal to its empirical formula. So, empirical formula of sucrose is equal to C12 H22 O11. And in the calculation, N doesn't have any role I said. Because molecular formula when divided by empirical formula will get 1. That is unity. Right? So, you need not go for calculating the integer value. This is example 1. Now let us see example 2. Molecular formula of hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Now, the actual number of atoms of hydrogen and oxygen in this case are 2 and 2, or 2 is to 2. So, that ratio 2 is to 2 we can minimize, we can further decrease to 1 is to 1. So, here it is possible to find out empirical formula. So, empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide. This ratio 2 is to 2 is decreased to 1 is to 1. So, accordingly, we can write H1 MO1 or HO. That itself is empirical formula. Here we can calculate integer, that is N. N value is equal to MF divided by EF. So H2O2 divided by H1O1. This is equal to 2. So the value of integer is equal to 2. That's how we calculate the N value when molecular formula and empirical formulas are known to us. When molecular formula and empirical formulas are same, then by default N value will be equal to 1. So most of the numericals are involved in such a way that N value is mostly in most of the numericals is more than 1. So that's about how the integer N value is calculated. Once again, in short, molecular formula and empirical formula concepts. Molecular formula tells us the actual number of atoms of different elements present in the given molecule of the compound. Like carbon dioxide, CO2. In that, carbon 1 atom, oxygen 2 atoms are there. That is the actual number of atoms of carbon and oxygen. In that way, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. There 2 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen are involved. That 2 is to 2 represents the actual number of atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. Before that 2 is to 2 is minimized to 1 is to 1. Now, if we move to empirical formula tells us about the simple whole number ratio of the different atoms of each element present in one molecule of the given compound, like glucose C6H12O6. That 6 is to 12 is to 6 can be further minimized to C1H6 O1. That is empirical formula of glucose. Same way, if you take hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, the number of hydrogen and oxygen atoms can be minimized to 1:1 from 2:2. Therefore, the empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide is 1:1. So, molecular formula tells the actual number of atoms of different elements present in the given molecule of the compound. And empirical formula tells the simplest ratio of the number of atoms of different elements present in it. And integer n is known to us. It is nothing but the molecular formula divided by empirical formula, or molecular formula mass divided by empirical formula mass. In any way we get n value 2 only, even if it is mf by ef or mfm by efm. This is about the concepts of molecular formula, empirical formula, how to calculate integer n value, and the sample numerical, wherein we calculated molecular formula of iron oxide, that is Fe2O3. It is nothing but ferric oxide. Thank you, children.